Hi everyone, Lydia here with Build Show in the USG Sheetrock brand studio. And have your patches look like this? I know some of yours have because I've seen them on Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, I don't know, a million other places online. This is not anywhere close to paint ready, just to start off with this. I don't know how many times I've seen people post pictures like this and be like, oh, is this ready for paint? No, absolutely not. That is ready for paint. Actually, that's still gonna get probably one more coat, but that's what you wanna have when you do a patch, something nice and feathered and smooth. This, absolutely not. Everything on this is going to show when you paint this. Every heavy line, every mark, all that textury stuff in there, that paper tape that's showing is still gonna show through. So let's kind of walk through what's wrong with this, what went wrong, and I'll try and fix some of it if I can, as long as the mud is set up enough. This is Easy Sand 5. So I did use hot mud because I feel like that's probably what most of you are doing when you're doing these patches. So I just grabbed a bag of Easy Sand 5, whipped up some hot mud. I feel like mine probably turned out smoother than what most of you are patching with. So it probably actually looks a little bit better, maybe. But one thing I did do is I picked up some plastic knives and I actually taped and coated this entire thing with this tiny knife right here. So this was, I think this is a 2-inch, nope, 3-inch. So this is number one, your biggest problem when you are patching drywall. You are doing everything with a tiny knife. So, you know, it's really hard to pull things nicely. You wind up with all of these lines, all of these ridges. These plastic knives are absolute junk. They really don't work well. You can't get a nice tape bed. You can't lie down the mud nicely. So I think this, number one, is a big part of the problem. You're not using a big enough knife. You're using a plastic knife. And then on top of that, I think a lot of you are using Easy Sand or Quick Set products. So what happened here is, number one, we have super uneven. There's a lot of spots that are not lied down very well because you can't push hard enough with those plastic knives. And then the Easy Sand also, depending on how thick it is, can be really hard to get it to lie down and get that tape flat. So we have high centered spots here. This right here is a blister, and I'll actually open it up and we can look at what's behind there. So when we have a blister, these absolutely will show through. And, you know, even if it's, you know, a good drywall job and it's years down the line and you're kind of seeing this like little air pocket here or even down here, these are what we call blisters. So that's a spot where there is no mud behind the tape. And what it does is it pretty much just creates a little air pocket. So let me see if I can do this. I can because it's soft enough still. So this is a blister. So when we are using small knives like that, like say a 3, a 2, anything tiny, our mud's too thick, we're not pushing our tape down hard enough, then you wind up with blisters like this. And then it's just a big gap or a big void where there's just no mud and there's nothing holding that tape down. It's down here too. So depending on where this is on your drywall and how far it goes, sometimes you can get away with just cutting these out. So say, you know, I would call this an edge blister. So as you can see, it's just on the edge of where the tape is. So if my seam was say right here and most of my tape is still centered over the seam, I would just cut that little excess tape out and it'll still be fine and fill that void. Now, if you're running into one that's a big blister like this, where it's pretty much all of the tape, then you're gonna have to go ahead and cut it out and retape that spot. So anything where there is a joint or a seam has to have tape on that seam. So our little edge blister here, being that it's just kind of on the very outer edges of that seam, it's not going to affect the actual tape on the seam. Something like this, where it's over the entire seam, you need to go ahead and replace it because it is affecting that seam directly. Another thing that happened here is we have a lot of heavy edges, a lot of buildup. So one thing you want to do if you are doing patchwork and you're coming back and say you really screwed up and this is what your first coat looks like. What you're going to do is you're going to get rid of all your blisters. You can kind of just tear your tape off. That one is actually pretty dang good. That was a pretty big blister. It usually won't tear off like this. It's tearing off like this because it's still a little soft. You would want to retape these spots. You would want to get rid of any blistered areas, especially when you're overlapping tapes. You can get blisters there too. So as you can see here, I had one tape over another. So you need to be careful with that you're putting enough mud behind that tape, especially when they're overlapping. Because this tape might not have enough mud, but if you put this one on top, make sure you put mud on top of that tape you're taping over, if that makes sense. So, you know, you have a blister there. We have all of these heavy edges. We have, you know, sharp edges over here. Nothing is feathered. So if you're looking at fixing a patch like this, start with your blisters first. If you have any tape lifting, you want to retape those spots, cut them out if you need to, and then you can start just scraping down these heavy areas. Now, you can sand it if you want. That's fine too. If you so choose, you can absolutely do that. But we want to try and get everything back to as level as we can. And as you can see here, I let the mud build up here to kind of show what a humped area is, because I feel like that's also really common with taping patches that I've seen that have been really bad. So let's say, you know, I'm like, I really built my mud up there, and I start getting down to the tape. So my tape is built up on top of having a heavy coat of mud on top of that. So I'm going to try and scrape as much mud off as I can. And then when I start seeing tape showing, then I'm going to stop. Because what happens is if I keep going, I'll start like taking off those layers of tape with it. So try and get it as flat as you can, and then you're going to start skimming and floating out from your high joint. So say it's high here, I'm going to skim over here, and then I'm going to skim over here, and I'm going to treat it just like a butt joint and get rid of that hump. Anything heavy on the edges, you know, you can try and get in there, get as much off as you can. You know, there's still heavy edges here on even edges. And depending on what kind of a mud you use will also depend on how easy it is to scrape off. But you want to try and get as much off as you can before you move on to your second and third coat. So if you are walking into a patch like this, you're more than likely going to have 2-3 coats at least. One thing I really recommend, especially with dealing with nasty areas like this or really bad patches, is a skimming blade, because essentially you can coat this entire thing with one blade in a couple passes, and it will kind of even out and help hump those spots out. Another thing you need to think about too when you are doing these is sometimes like this patch is uneven everywhere. It has high spots going this way, it has high spots going this way. So sometimes you are gonna have to pull 2 or 3 different ways on these patches. Your first pull might be going down this way, second pull going this way to fill it out that way, and then your third pull wherever is kind of left a little shallow. So this is how you do not patch. It's a little overview of how to fix it. Back away from the plastic knives. Mix your mud a little bit thinner than you think you want to go with. I really don't recommend doing a big patch like this with something like easy sand unless you are experienced enough. You're much better off doing something like all-purpose or +3, and then just kind of start coating and floating it out. It's not going to be very fun, so try to not leave it like this. If you are doing patches, your best bet is to go ahead, tape your seams first, let those dry, then come back and then start coating those seams or coating that whole area. If it's a lot of them and it's something pretty big, definitely look into skimming blades. They will save you a ton of time and a ton of headaches. But hopefully this helps. Don't patch like this. It's nasty, it's gross, nobody likes it, and can't paint this. Don't do it. Anyway, that's it for me this week. I will catch you guys next week with a brand new video on Build Show. And as always, you can check me out on all the socials under Drywall Shorty. I'll see you next week.